Let's wait for 5 more minutes, and like agar if somebody wants to join, like they will be here. Otherwise, at 11:05 we'll start. Okay. Okay, so yes, more people have joined in. So let's begin with random forest today, and I think we will be able to complete it. So अभी तक किसी को कोई question है? The last thing we did, like we introduced classes, we created our own module and we imported the functions from that module and made our own model and we got the result. So हमने data pre-processing भी किया, clean भी किया. So like you might have gotten an idea that like what data cleaning is all about and what are the steps we follow and how do we analyze the result. So किसी को like because data cleaning हम like model बनाते हैं. So किसी को उस part में कोई question है कि how still anybody is having some confusion that what the process flow is and how data is clean या कैसे outliers and missing value हटाते हैं, like किसी को कोई भी question हो, because that was an let's say that was an ideal way, like हम data ऐसे आता है तो हम ऐसे clean करेंगे, फिर उसके बाद ऐसे ये steps करेंगे and then हम like that was a complete end to end part, like जो हमने loan prediction का किया, that was an end to end thing which we did. एंड उसमें हमने मल्टीपल चीजें यूज की, क्लासेस यूज की, बहुत अलग, मतलब इट वाज कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ मल्टीपल थिंग्स. सो एनीबॉडी इज हैविंग एनी कंफ्यूजन? हाँ जी, बताओ, जवाब तो दे दो. रूपा, जो आपको था कि हाउ टू यू ट्रीट आउटलायर्स, रूपा देयर? यस रूपा, जो आपको कंफ्यूजन था दैट हाउ डू यू ट्रीट आउटलायर्स, सो वो आपको समझ में आ गया? लाइक इट वाज गिवन इन दैट कोड, सो क्लियर है वो? हाउ डू वी यूज वैल्यूज ऑफ परसेंटाइल वैल्यूज, या आप कुछ और रिप्लेस कर सकते हो? Okay, okay. Yeah, you should always like keep on practicing, not just with that data. See, I'm writing here multiple websites. So okay, मैं आपको screen पे दिखा देती हूँ, so you can get different data sets from these websites and practice as much as you can. तो उससे आपका hands on वाली चीज ही increase होगी, and it's good कि आप more and more you are doing the data cleaning part. So I'll give you multiple websites here. So um, yes, UCI Machine Learning Repository is the link to this page, and here you get all the data sets. So if I come here, yeah, view all data sets here. You see, I'm sending you this link, and so you can get different kind of data from here. So you see multivariate regression, classification, social science, life science, physical science, and like there were too many data sets here. So you download them, and let's say just you're talking about flags here. So if you go in here, then this data folder will have all of your data. Just go to this folder and download them. You'll have description about dataset description, and although this is also the given description here, so and this is the complete description about that data, you can download it. So you'll have just practice, download the datasets from these websites, or you can just go on Kaggle and or Kaggle datasets. तो यहाँ पे भी open datasets available है which you can use. There are so many public data sets available. Just pick any and start working on that. So it will help you out. कि आपको जो end to end process है, जितना practice करोगे, it will make you much good. You can find them on GitHub as well. So if when you Google them, तो आपको multiple websites मिलेगी. Elite Data Science है, थोड़ा थोड़ा सर्च अराउंड करना पड़ेगा, बट यू विल गेट देम। एनालिटिक्स विद्या पे भी यू विल गेट अ लॉट ऑफ, केडी नगेट्स पे भी मिल जाते हैं। सो यू नो जस्ट प्रैक्टिस देम। ये दो बहुत कॉमन है, यहाँ पे आपको मिल ही जाएंगे विदाउट मच ऑफ अ हार्ड वर्क। सो आई थिंक अगर इफ नोबडी इज आस्किंग एनी क्वेश्चन, तो सबको अभी तक जो हमने किया है वो क्लियर है, किसी को कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं।
Guys, wait for a minute. I think Sujata dropped off and she's trying to connect again. Be wait.
अगर if we have done, तो please correct me, but I think we have not done them. So let's start with ensemble. मैंने थोड़ा समझा दिया था, but just I'll begin with this only. So ensemble banging, boosting, and bootstrapping. So what is ensemble? If at any point मेरी voice चली जाती है तो right away please text me, ताकि मुझे समझ like I get to know. Okay, so what is ensemble? Ensemble like where multiple models are trained, like you know, just like just like random forest. Random forest is an ensemble of decision trees, because all the decision trees are trained on the same data, and each decision tree gives its own output. And random forest takes in consideration the result or the output of each and every decision tree, and this thus forming an ensemble. So, where ensemble is like multiple models are trained using same algorithm, and the results are considered and given a single results from all of them. So it's written here, it combines several decision trees, like talking about random forest. So random forest combines several decision trees classifier to produce better predictive performance for a single from decision trees, you know, like as I already told you, multiple decision trees gives their output, and unka if there's a classification problem, then voting is done, and if the problem is a regression, तो उनका average out किया जाता है, and a single result is given out of n number of decision trees. So that becomes an ensemble of decision trees, and it is called as random forest. ठीक है, the principal model is like group of weak learners. So what are weak learners am I referring to? Weak learners in case of random forest are decision trees. So they come together to form a strong learner. Because why a strong learner? Let's say if I'm taking 100 decision trees, one decision tree can be biased. एक में overfitting हो सकती है, in another it might be underfitting, or it might be like normal, or it's not performing that well. So that problem can lead, like it can happen in one, two, or like three, four, or 10 decision trees. But combining all of them will automatically give a strong result, as if taking in consideration the result of only one decision tree or two or three. So taking in consideration all the result of all decision tree becomes a strong learner. So that's why we call them as weak learners, because one individual decision tree can be overfitted or underfitted, or maybe some other problem. But with combination of n number decision tree, they form a strong learner, and thus increasing the accuracy or the result of the model. Okay, so this is like ensemble. When somebody asks about ensemble, then we say like they are combination of multiple decision tree and trained on same data, and the results are considered and then given a single result out of them. So ensemble समझ में आया? What is ensemble? The name as suggests कि like दो तीन चीजें मिला के you get one result. So that becomes an ensemble. Random forest is ensemble algorithm. We can make our own ensemble ourselves. I take the result from multiple algorithms and then I do myself as a voting, जैसे हमने last class में किया नहीं था, समझा था that we have used 4 to 5 algorithms when we did the loan prediction data set. And if like out of 5, 3 algorithm are saying class 1, then we can do the voting and get our own results. So in that case, we are also making our own ensemble. So concept समझ में आया? What is ensemble? And if we talk about ensemble of machine learning models, then what it is? Okay, then moving on to bagging. So before bagging, I would cover this bootstrap thing. So just come to actually मैंने इसमें I've just inserted this image. मैंने एक दो चीज इसमें डाली. एक second, let me send you this updated PPT. जो मैंने आपसे शेयर की है उसमें ये इमेज नहीं, उसमें there is some other image. लेकिन उससे found कि explanation अच्छा नहीं हो पाता. So I just made some changes. So give me a second, I'll send you updated PPT of this random forest. Send you unsupervised learning clustering code as well. तो फॉरेस्ट टुडे तो हम फिर क्लस्टरिंग शुरू करेंगे, else we'll फिर do it tomorrow. Just few seconds and I will. So I've just sent you an email with updated PPT for this random forest and clustering code I've also sent you. So unsupervised learning, so वो भी हम करेंगे. So please check your email IDs. अगर नहीं मिला है तो बताओ. अभी तब तक मैं समझा देती हूँ, कुछ ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. So it's not mandatory कि आप PPT open करो then only we can proceed. Okay. So now what bootstrapping is? See, random forest में multiple चीजें use होती है. It uses bootstrapping, it uses bagging, and overall the process is called उसको ensemble बन जाता है सब चीजें मिला के. So bootstrap is used to divide the data among decision trees because we have the same data and all of the data मतलब सबका सब decision trees को they have to do one thing, that they have to make prediction for a single target. So I'm using the same data, but how to divide the data? I cannot give same data to each and every decision tree because then there are chances that my random forest might overfit, because if every decision tree is getting trained on same number of rows and same number of columns and ditto like copied values, then my random forest will overfit. So how do we divide data among decision trees? That they are different among, like the data is unique in their own way, but again belonging to that whole complete master data. So how do we make subsets of that data? So that is done using concept of bootstrapping. So what bootstrap does is, it's written here, each collection of bootstrap does is it creates subsets from your master data, and then each subset is provided to individual decision trees. Now we do is bootstrap with replacement. So this is an example here. Let's say this is my original training data, that is master data having cat, dog, horse, cow, rat. So now I have to create a random forest algorithm on that, and in random forest there are decision trees. So how do we divide this data among decision trees? That they are themselves having unique data, like decision tree 1 and decision 2 are not having same data, but they are having different data. मतलब values or belongs master data को ही करेंगे, but they are having there is some sort of randomness, some sort of uniqueness. So let's say here, let's say this is with decision tree. If I'm saying sampling with replacement, तो मतलब क्या हो रहा है? We pick up some values from our master data. Now, एक second. Now, what is given to my this decision tree? One cat, dog, and horse. Correct. So ideally, if I'm giving these three values, cat, dog, and horse, to my decision trees, this is I'm talking about sampling with replacement. So when we say with replacement, it means if I'm picking some values from my master data and I'm assigning them to one decision trees, it means I can reuse them for other decision trees as well. Just like we have done cat, dog here, horse here. So I'm using dog here as well. I'm using horse and cat here as well, because I have done with replacement. Means if any data is assigned to a decision tree, then it can be assigned to other decision trees as well. If I do it without replacement, when you say that sampling without replacement, it means if my decision tree if one is having cat, dog, and horse, then what I'm left with, then I cannot assign these three values to any other decision trees. Matlab one is taken, that some values are taken by one decision tree, then they cannot be taken by another decision tree. So this is the case of without replacement. So what we are left with now, cow and rat. So if I just give this cow and rat combination to decision number 2, DT number 2, then I'm left nothing with DT number 3, and because we have n number of decision trees, so we'll be short of data in that case, because at some point our data will end up with first decision tree might have some values, then other decision tree might have some values, then what about others? My data will finish up. So in that case, bootstrapping, like it's always done with replacement, so that if any data is fed into one DT, it can be reused by another DT as well, so that our data is not finished up. So here one more thing you see, that even if like we are doing with replacement, that we are, once a data is used, we are allowing it to be used by another decision tree. So there is some sort of duplicacy here, but again randomness is there. Let's say what was the values given here, cat, dog, and horse. Cow and rat does not belong to this DT, so it will be trained only on these three values. Correct. Now decision tree 2 will be trained only cow and dog. So for this these like horse, rat या जो भी बच गए, it won't be trained on that values. So ideally DT1 का जो data है is different from the data of DT2. Only what is similar? Only dog is similar. इसमें cat और horse था, इसमें वो भी नहीं है. So both the data set दोनों DT के पास है, DT1 and DT2 के पास, they are somewhat different to each other. They are not exact the same, but there is some sort of difference. There is some sort of randomness कि कुछ अलग है, बिल्कुल exact ditto copy नहीं है. Similarly with decision number 3, you see like जो इनपुट मेरा dt के पास गया है 1, जो इनपुट dt2 के पास गया है, जो इनपुट dt3 के पास गया, they all are different. Nowhere I'm having the same set of values. Like अगर मेरा dt1 के पास cat dog horse है, तो वही combination मेरा किसी भी dt के पास नहीं है. At times, if you have a like huge number of decision trees, and at times you might have there is some sort of duplicacy, but because bootstrapping में वही क्या करेंगे, data तो limited है, that is to be only divided. Because if you have very huge number, तो उस time पे you might have chances that at some point two decision trees might have same data, but ideally ये नहीं होता because bootstrapping is done this way that every decision tree has its own unique data with replacement and randomness. कि कहीं ना कहीं वो डेटा दो डिसीजन ट्रीज का अलग रहेगा, and again they are all belonging to this master data set and they will be working for same target. कि इन let's say ये इन तीन को लेके इसको प्रिडिक्शन करना है कि एनिमल है या क्या है या कुछ भी, मतलब जो भी टारगेट होगा, they will be working on same problem, predicting the same thing, but using different data sets. So this is done using bootstrapping. So you see it's written here, like, 1/3 of the cases are left out. So हमारा generally bootstrap, 33% of the data is, it's always like 33. Let's say अगर मैं इतने variables है, then with one case 1/3 of the variable will be left out, and then it will be fed into an algorithm. So they are not used, but it's just a theory. It's they are not used in the construction of K3. अगर मैंने यहाँ पे ये let's say जो मैंने यहाँ पे 3 ले लिए, they'll not be used in the construction of another tree. So there will be always a randomness here. Another slide में भी यही समझाया हुआ है. Let me bring in here. Let's say this with numbers 1 to 6. Now, like one of our tree might have, like, this is our complete data set, master data. एक छोटा सा example है. And then we have to divide this data only. What happened is my screen. So we have to divide this data only to our. So this is our master data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have to divide data only to our multiple decision trees. So in this case, so this is our master data, and let's say with DT1, this data is gone with replacement. It is always with replacement. So with DT1, this is our data. With DT2, this is our data. And see again, different values are given. They're not same. They're not same anywhere. So this is like the concept of bootstrapping with replacement. One data, DT1, DT2, DT3, DT4, DT5, DT6. So every time you have a different set of values, but again, all belonging to that master data. So this is done using bootstrapping with replacement. So थोड़ा concept clear हुआ what is bootstrapping and why it is used and what do we mean by with replacement? So this way data is divided in random forest among decision trees. ठीक है, तभी वो let's say like one decision tree might not perform good on this data set. It might underfit. This one might overfit. तो maybe ये तो सही चलेगा, या इसके अलावा और जो बाकी decision trees है वो सही चलेंगे. So this alone is a weak learner. This alone is a weak learner. This alone is a weak learner. ऐसे 100 of decision trees हो गए, but all of them combined together will give me good results. So that जो मेरा जो variation होता है is divided among all of them. So that multiple decision trees variation है जो that all is balanced out using this ensemble method. Now this was the concept of bootstrapping and ensemble मैंने बता दिया. Then coming on to the bagging part. So when we are using, so bagging is a combination of bootstrapping and aggregation. So it's written here, bootstrap plus aggregating. It means like, we are dividing the data and then, so using an ensemble of model where each model is bootstrapped means we are dividing our data and then उनकी जो predictions है, considering their predictions and giving a final result. So bagging क्या हो जाता है, overall process जो decision tree, random forest follow करता है, That process is called out as bagging. So it starts with like bootstrapping, that is dividing the data among decision trees. And once the data is divided, जो हमारा model train होता है, every decision tree is trained on that data, predictions are made, and then considering like aggregating the predictions part. You see here, aggregating the predictions part, and then getting to one result from those predictions. So all these concepts combine together to form a bagging. So idea of bagging, like we want to fit several independent models. And what are independent models here? Each decision tree is itself an independent model. Okay, so we are fitting several independent models and averaging their prediction in case of regression to get a result. And again, it will have lower variance. मतलब ज़्यादा variation नहीं होगी मेरे results में. कहीं unbiased है, कहीं ज़्यादा biased है, कहीं overfitted है, कहीं underfitted है. So it will be neutralized if I'm using n number of decision trees. ठीक है, the process है, the steps are written that first we create multiple bootstrap samples so that each new bootstrap sample will be like almost independent, like they are different from each other. ठीक है, then we fit a weak learner on each of these sample and aggregate them. And aggregate से मतलब जो उनका पहले हर weak learner को we fitted that weak learner onto that bootstrap sample and then aggregated their result, if to an average or to a voting method, depending upon the problem. And then this way an ensemble model is created with less variation. Okay, this is the example that assuming we have L bootstrap samples of size B, and then we can fit almost L independent weak learners. मतलब अगर मेरे पास 10 decision trees हैं और मेरे पास, then we have to create 10 bootstrap samples, and maybe each bootstrap sample might have a sample size of 5. So each sample will be given to each one decision tree, and then collection of data like they are used to train. जो हम train test fit करते हैं तो हर decision tree उस data पे train होगा and prediction करेगा, and then aggregated to some kind of averaging process or voting process for classification. So bootstrapping or bagging का concept clear हुआ? Like they all are, this is all done in random forest. Apart from, see, decision trees in backend calculate Gini index, entropy, that is always done, वो तो होगा ही होगा. But apart from that, random forest use bagging, random forest use bootstrapping, and this complete process we call it as ensemble. इन तीन में कोई confusion है? बैगिंग के अंदर बूटस्ट्रैपिंग होती है. एक कंप्लीट जो प्रोसेस है दैट डिवाइडिंग आवर डेटा इनटू मल्टीपल सैंपल्स एंड देन असाइनिंग दैट डेटा टू n number of decision trees and getting their result. ये पूरा प्रोसेस is called bagging. You see it's written here, bootstrap plus aggregating. मतलब bootstrap में हम क्या करेंगे? First we are dividing our data, giving it to decision trees, and then aggregating their predictions. Aggregating से अगर as मैं like if regression then averaging out, if classification then voting. Complete process is called out to be bagging. And this is a very frequent asked question in interviews, that what is bagging, what is bootstrapping, what is bootstrap with replacement. So agar bootstrap, third one once again, which third, bagging, bootstrap या कौन सा रूपा? So ये concept बहुत जरूरी है, तो इनको जरूर पढ़ जाना, theoretical part at least, because we are not doing them when we implement algorithm, but this is the inner working of a random forest and you should know it. Start from the first, like रूपा मुझे नाम बताओ. बैगिंग है, बूस्टिंग है, सॉरी बूटस्ट्रैपिंग है, एंसेम्बल है, कौन सा फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड? आई एम नॉट एबल, व्हिच वन? Yes, but उससे उससे your data will finish. It can be done with replacement, without replacement, but let's say जैसे जो example था, coming back to that, but let's say this is our example, and if I do boot, why my screen is not getting updated? एक second, I've changed my slide and still I'm on the same page in this PPT, in this. So, एक second, Rupa. So, John, if you're saying without replacement, let's say cat, dog, and horse, these three values are assigned to my DT1. And if I say without replacement, it means if they are used by this DT, I won't allow it to get it used by another decision trees. And what we are left with, cow and rat. Let's say cow and rat is decision tree ने use किया. So we are left with nothing without replacement. And we cannot use them as well. Then what we are left with? Nothing. So data खत्म हो गया. Then what about other decision trees? So we do not have anything to feed into them. So ideally मेरे दो decision tree where my data is finished. So it's always done with replacement. Rupa, like which one in this page, third line, which Rupa? This bagging, this one here. This line you're talking about, which I've highlighted. So इसमें we create multiple bootstrap samples so that each new bootstrap sample will act almost independent data set drawn from true. इसमें क्या समझ में आया बताओ? Bootstrapping समझ में आया, like we are creating multiple bootstrap samples. Bootstrap sample से क्या है? जैसे coming on to this PPT, this is a bootstrap sample given to DT1. This is a bootstrap sample given to DT2, and this is a bootstrap sample given to DT3, and all belonging to this master data. These are bootstrap samples. So बैगिंग का सबसे पहला पार्ट यही होता है, अगर कोई भी एल्गोरिथम हम स्टार्ट करते हैं तो उससे पहले ये तो देखेंगे ना डेटा क्या देना है. सो रैंडम फॉरेस्ट में डेटा क्या कैसे देना है इज डिवाइडेड बाय बूटस्ट्रैप. So that's why it's written first we create multiple bootstrap samples. Once we are done with that, this is our data and this is what we have to feed into. Then what is given that each new bootstrap sample will be like, they are almost independent data set. Independent data set से again coming back to that slide. So bootstrapping इसलिए तो होते हैं ना, so that there is some sort of uniqueness and randomness among the data. So this data, although ये जो तीनों decision tree का data है is belonging to this master data, but see data fed into DT1 is different from the data fed into DT2 and DT3. So तीनों decision trees में जो data दिया है is all different. They all are unique and independent of themselves. There is no duplicate. So this is not similar to this one, and neither DT2 is similar to DT3 or DT1. So the bootstrap samples are created and such that each sample is independent of itself, and then they are given to these decision trees or performers. Let me come back to that one. So bootstrap sample से data was created. Then each of these bootstrap sample is like they are almost independent data set. They are not similar. ठीक है? Drawn from the true distribution, मतलब true distribution is referred here as master data, जहाँ जिसमें से वो bootstrap sample बनते हैं. Clear हुआ? Okay. So this was all done in random forest. Then we have a concept of boosting. This does not belong to random forest. ये बहुत widely पूछा जाता है what is boosting. लेकिन this is, again I'm telling, this does not belong to random forest. This is not done. Random forest does not do boosting. So never say कि boosting भी होती है random forest में. No, I'm just telling you one concept. ठीक है. So what is boosting here? Let's say बूस्टिंग जैसे हमारे अल्गोरिथम्स होते हैं, जैसे हमारे जो हायर अल्गोरिथम्स होते हैं जो सेल्फ लर्निंग करते हैं, तो उनमें बूस्टिंग बूस्ट जैसे हमारा ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग है. सो दैट इज एन अल्गोरिथम. आई विल गिव द नेम हियर. इफ There is some lag here. I don't know, ma'am. I'm trying to update. ये go to meeting पे मेरी screen update नहीं हो रही है. Okay. Now, just like boosting, जो हमारे जैसे gradient boosting algorithm is, you know, it's थोड़ा बहुत latest algorithm, not that latest, 2-3 साल हो गया है. But yeah, it's similarly, this is, you know, concept बहुत पूछा जाता है, what is boosting? So just to आपको पता होना चाहिए. So again, gradient boosting is again a kind of tree algorithm. So if I'm saying tree algorithm, it means it is using decision trees in its core. कोई भी tree algorithm अगर कोई कह रहा है कि tree algorithm use करो, it means in that algorithm decision trees are used. So random forest is also a tree algorithm. Gradient boosting algorithm is also a tree algorithm. ठीक है. So boosting का process क्या होता है? Like, you know, after every once a model is done or created, predictions are made, then error is calculated. So boosting algorithms क्या करते हैं? They work on that error and try to reduce that error. So algorithm एक boosting एक second में let me try to draw something so that आपको help हो जाए. और ऐसे समझाने की बहुत मुश्किल है इसमें ड्रॉ करना. So boosting algorithm क्या करता है? It tries to remove the error. Let's say decision trees हमारे algorithm है. Oh, sorry, they are ensemble. They are the ensemble which are used in this gradient boosting or random forest as well. Boosting में क्या होता है? Let's say one decision tree gave its output, and then error was calculated. कि let's say कुछ भी regression problem है, classification है. Let's say that age was to be predicted by an algorithm. तो core में decision trees are used. So one decision tree made the prediction. Let's say my original age was. Let me write it down here. So my original age was, let's say 30, and prediction क्या हुआ? Let's say 25 was the prediction. This was by decision tree 1. It gave me this result. What is the error now? Error is equals to 5. Let me make some space so that I'm able to make you understand. ठीक है. Now error is 5. What another decision tree will do is, originally हमारा target क्या था for every decision tree? That it has to make a prediction so that value is close to 3. मतलब regression problem है तो उसको age predict करनी है. Original वजह is 30. तो हर decision tree को age predict करनी. लेकिन first decision tree made a prediction of 25 and error was calculated as 5. Now what another decision tree will do is, it will take this along with other feature. Let's say इसके साथ मेरा what are the, let's say x, y, z, sorry, let's say these are all another features जो होता है ना हमारे independent information होती है. This was our target and these are our features. Using this model, हर एक का model, what was model? Using this information we have to make the prediction for age. ठीक है. First decision tree made the prediction as 25 and error came out to be 5. Now what second decision tree will do is, instead of making this 30 as a target, it will make this 5 as a target. Now the target for another decision tree is this 5 and this 25 along with, now this 25 along with this set of information, this one is taken as information. तो इन सबको information लेके it will make predictions for this one. Now originally prediction मतलब target क्या था? 5. तो it might make some prediction. तो अब 5 की जगह let's say it made the prediction as 4, या let's say it make the prediction as 3. ठीक है. Now what is done by the algorithm? That 3 is added to this 25. Now 3 plus 25 came up to be 28. So 28. Now again error is calculated. Error किसका calculate होगा? 30 minus 28. Now what the difference is? What is the difference? Again 2 जो is my still an error. Correct. Now another decision tree, what it will do is, it will take this 28 as an information feature along with this information feature जो हमारी पहले से ही थी, and it will try to make predictions for this algorithm. Sorry, this target. Sorry, it will try to make predictions for this target. जैसे पहले जो एरर था 5, it tried to make predictions for 5 and came up with a new value that was 3, and this 3 was added to this speech and a new value was generated as the मेरा result आता algorithm का, that came out to be 28. Then again the difference was calculated, then my error came out to be 2. Now another decision tree will make this as the target and इसको prediction करेगा. Now let's say instead of 2 it made the prediction. Now जो मेरा नया DT3 है उसने 2 की जगह it gave me result as 1. Now what it will be done, 28 plus 1 will be done. Now what is my target जो मेरा result आया from DT3, it was 29. Now again the difference from this 30 and 29 will be calculated, and what it is, it is 1. Now again the same process will be repeated. Now another DT4 hoga will make this as target, and using these information features and 29 which was the result from the previous algorithm, it will take this into consideration and it will take this information into consideration and try to predict like a value closer to this one. So kya ho raha hai, every time the result given by one algorithm is taken as the taken as an informative feature by another algorithm, और जो error आ रहा है predictions are made such that the error produced और error जो last algorithm में जो error आया था, so that new predictions are made so that error is reduced, and जो prediction पहले नहीं किया that is also taken into consideration along with other features. So ये boosting में ऐसे काम होता है. So ऐसे मतलब एक algorithm दूसरे का result boost up कर रहा है by reducing the error. Another algorithm is built on the result of previous. जैसे मेरा DT1 ये था, DT2 किसके रिजल्ट पे बना, DT1 के रिजल्ट पे बना, DT3 किसके रिजल्ट पे बना, DT2 के रिजल्ट पे बना. So a stack of model is built on one on another, which work on the output given by one algorithm, and then that is उसको थोड़ा उसके prediction की जाती है, and जो उसका error आता है that is taken into another algorithm. So it is a kind of stack of decision trees which work to improve the results. एक ने error किया, then that is tried and improved by DT2, and then उसका जो result और error that is tried to improve by DT3. So this is how boosting works. थोड़ा clear हो what is boosting and how it works. So that is only written. It is an iterative technique which adjusts the weight, and इसमें of an observation based on last classification. If the observation was classified incorrectly, it tries to increase the weight. Increase the weight से मतलब priority is given to this, and it tries to मतलब get close to the value. It get close to the value so that जो हमारा in total जो predictions है they come to be more accurate. So it builds generally strong predictive models. So it is a technique like where learned sequentially with early learners fitting to simple models and then analyzing data for errors. So इसमें हमेशा error को analyze किया जाता है, and then another model is created on that error. So consecutive random samples, again इसमें वो bootstrapping, bagging, ensemble वो चीजें होंगी, but model ये सब ऐसे बनता है इसमें. The goal is to improve the accuracy from the prior decision tree. ठीक है. So if an input is misclassified, then its weight is increased. वही मतलब उसको consideration में लिया जाता है, and predictions are made to get closer to the result. So boosting में थोड़ा concept समझ में आया. What is boosting? It converts weak learners to like better performing models, because एक की prediction दूसरे ने सही की, दूसरे की prediction तीसरे ने सही की. So eventually our models are learning and making good predictions. So boosting समझ में आया या नहीं आया? Please tell me. Okay, this is not used by random forest, but it is a very widely asked question कि boosting क्या होता है, तो you should know. Okay. So we have done this PPT. हमारा ensemble clear हो गया. I think it's clear to all what is ensemble. This complete process मतलब सब चीज multiple algorithms use करना is ensemble. Bagging, bootstrapping plus considering their results and then giving a single result all comes under bagging. boosting अभी मैंने बताया, bootstrapping is done to divide data, randomly and like in some sort of unique way among multiple decision trees in an algorithm, random forest. ठीक है, so इस PPT में किसी को कोई doubt है, confusion है, then we will move on to the random forest code. Is anybody having any confusion in this PPT? Okay. Okay, then moving on to the code part. This I've already shared you, like previous classes में मैंने share कर दिया था आपके साथ. Random forest जिसमें हमने भी we built our tree models. हमने वो tree भी बनाया था, the same code, where we work with decision trees. And did I explain grid search CV as well? Well, I think we have done grid search CV and cross validation. We have done it, yes. Okay, then now let's ये wine data set है which we worked prior. So generally इसमें हमने भी created our decision tree model. So on the same data set, we'll be building our random forest model. Okay, now this is a library like from sklearn.ensemble. Ensemble is the module in which random forest classifier belongs. Okay, so sklearn.ensemble, and from this we'll be importing random forest classifier. It is equally used for regression problem as well. ऐसा नहीं है कि it is only used for classification. It works equally good with regression problems. ठीक है, so इसका again वही same चीज है. There is no much difference in how to implement a code. हर एक की थोड़ा functioning अलग होती है, but the way we implement it using Python is almost similar. So here I think ये हम कर ही चुके हैं. We have divided our data x and y, and then different x and y one. This is our train and test split part, where we have divided our data into test size of 20% with some random state. And then we are doing random forest using two approaches. First it is using grid search CV, and then another one is using without grid search CV. See, random forest may, let's say when you do shift tab, always with an algorithm, we have n number of parameters. In order to work that parameters, you come here and you do shift tab. You see all these parameters are available with random forest. So har ek parameter ki apni explanation, and this is all the documentation part, which is like it is linked to scikit-learn library. So an estimator, it is like the number of trees you want to build. That is the number of decision trees you want to build in random forest. By default, it will take, it's every time with an algorithm, there is a default value that if user does not give any value, then the default value will be considered, just like in functions we did. So if you give a value, then it will be overwritten. But if you do not give any value, then default 100 decision trees will be built in the random forest code. Okay, and then criteria, we have done this Gini and entropy. So by default, Gini criteria is set out. Another is entropy. We have covered them. So these are like entropy for the information gain. So you can change this criteria from Gini to entropy, and as per you tweak the values, your result will vary. Okay. So before tweaking any parameter, we need to understand, or we need to at least read these, like what this parameter is referring to. Okay. Then another parameter is maximum depth. So it controls the maximum depth of a tree. If you do not specify, then till the tree is grown till till the bottom. हमने जैसे we visualize our tree, so it will be completely grown. But if you specify a maximum depth, and again it is all tweaking part, there is no such hard and fast rule that it should not be less than that. It all depends कि आप क्या value दे रहे हैं. It should be an integer value. By default हमारे trees complete depth तक grow किए जाते हैं. ठीक है, एक सेकेंड, लेट मी ब्रिंग इन वन पेज, तो उसे आपको थोड़ा ज्यादा समझ में आ जाएगा. गिव मी अ सेकेंड. So here I've tried to explain, where it is. Yeah, here I've tried to explain very like जो हमारे parameters हम जो most widely use करते हैं, I've tried to explain them. Let me zoom in. So it's important you to like पता होना चाहिए if you work with an algorithm. So this GoToMeeting is coming on my screen. Okay, so like one of the parameter is maximum features. As the name says, that the number of features. Is my screen not visible? When I minimize this GoToMeeting window, my screen starts blinking. One second, guys. Let me try to remove this. I don't know, it's not going. Okay. I'm just doing a bit of, minimizing. Because उससे मैं ही अपनी screen नहीं देख पा रही हूँ. I think it's visible to everybody now. Okay, so we have one of the parameter as maximum feature. So the maximum, what are features? What are features in an algorithm? Hanji, what are features? Nobody have this part. Nobody is having this one. I was just creating it before this class. This is not complete. Let me complete it and then I'll share with you. I was just trying my so कि थोड़ा आपको अच्छे से समझा पाऊँ. It's not complete yet. That's why I'm not shared this one. अभी बस समझाने के लिए then I'll share it with you. So I asked what are features. Nobody told me what are features. Please reply. Nobody is replying. What are features? Variables, different attributes. Which attributes and which variables, Johnny? And which attributes, Karishma? You can just turn on your mic and say it will, like I'm interacting with you. Hanji, what about others?
And variables as in, that means what I understand is columns and rows, columns in the data.
No, uske लिए. See, the proper definition for features is they are the independent variables which are used to make predictions for the dependent variable or for the target variable. So features are called the independent or informative columns or informative attributes, if you want to use this word attributes. Then the informative data or which we use in order to make predictions for the dependent or for the target variable. We call them as features. So give always, even in the interview, give a proper definition so that he is able to understand कि yeah, you have a clear picture. ठीक है everybody, and बाकी ने तो बताया नहीं, only Karishma and John responded. Other तो even did not tell. Okay. So maximum features means we can limit the number of features we feed into a random forest algorithm. So it's written here, allow to try in an individual tree. There are multiple options available in Python in order to assign multiple features. So using random forest, we can give 3 features. That is auto. It means auto or none. It means it will take all the features into consideration. If we have 13 features, it will take 13 features into consideration. And if we give a square root, it means, say it's written here, it will take square root of total number of features in individual run. For instance, if we have 100 variables, then it will take only 10 variables, 10 of them. So this is done if you set out the maximum feature parameter to be square root, and in the backend it automatically does the calculation that the variables having the minimum Gini value or maximum information gain, the top 10 values. If we have 100 variables, then the top 10 or 100 features, then the top 10 features having the maximum information gain or the Gini value, whatsoever is the criteria we are using. Then as per that, it will take the square root of them, and then it will take only those parameters into consideration. Also, we can give a certain integer value or floating value as well. That is, it will take 20% of the features into consideration. Again, that also depends upon the information gain and Gini value, and basis on that only it will pick the values. So we can give any of the 3 values. By default, it always take auto, but if at some point you find out that you have a very huge number of variables and you want to tweak the parameters, then you can go with square root and define your own, that just consider 30% or just take top 50 or take top 30 variable, 30 independent features into consideration or 30 variables, and then make the prediction. So this is the max feature attribute in random forest. And moreover, see, whenever you go for interview, and if you have written an algorithm into your CV, so you should know not all, let's say random forest, let's say it has 15 of features. So it's not mandatory that you should know all the 15, but you should know at least the common one, which are most commonly used. The basic one you should know. So you should know the name, at least you should know the names, and you should know the functioning of, not all, but a few you should know. Okay, so you learn them. Then the second parameter for random forest is n estimator, and we have done this in decision trees as well. We have done it in KNN as well. So this is the same thing, that is the number of trees you want to build in its code. Again, maximum voting and average is the criteria, or is the it's the process used by random forest to give the result. But if I say n estimator as 1000, it means I'm asking random forest to build 1000 decision trees in its core and then give me the result. Okay, higher number of decision trees will give you better result, but it will make your code slower, because it takes time to make 1000 decision trees. It takes time for bootstrap sampling and then give predictions and then doing further things. So it might take time, but you might end up in getting good result. Okay, then another attribute is of random forest is minimum sample leaf. So let's say by default, let's move on to here, this documentation part. Just let me share that screen. So if we are moving on to the documentation part, what is the minimum sample split? It is by default 2. So what it will do is, moving back here. Oops, it is minimum sample split, minimum sample leaf. It is by default 1. That is the minimum number of samples required to be at the leaf node. So it will keep on splitting the tree until and unless, if we have a sample of 1. See, when we built the decision tree, when we saw them, we had the leaf node where we had only 1 decision. So only 1 sample. So if we set out minimum sample as let's say I want 5. So let me come here. Now if talking about, so by default, as we have seen that by default minimum sample, by default we have seen that minimum sample leaf is at 1. Means, let's say here minimum sample leaf is at 5. So till the time, even if it's not 5, it's more. Here it is 5, here it is 5, here it is 3, and it is more even here. So by default it was minimum sample leaf of 1. So it means it will keep on making, or it will keep on building the tree till the time, even if we have 1 sample in our split, then it will if we have 1 left, then it comes out to be the terminal node. But if we have 2 here, let's say we have 2 samples, then it will keep on splitting further, because what we have by default हमारी minimum sample की क्या limit होती है, what we just saw now, it is 1. So we can limit it that just stop splitting my tree as soon as I have these many number of samples. Let's say if we give the sample size to be 5, so my tree will stop splitting as soon as I have less than 5 number of samples. If I'm having 4, that node will become my leaf node, and again voting and averaging out will be done. Or if I'm having 5, then also my leaf will be. If I'm having 6, then a further split can be done, but it won't go less than 5. So you can define that is the number of minimum samples you want at your leaf node. Clear? That is the minimum number of samples. So it is a tweakable parameter. Again, all parameters can be tweaked, but and by default एक value होती है. ठीक है? So again, increasing the minimum sample split, we can reduce the number of. Let's say if I'm saying, if I'm having 4 samples in my leaf node and my minimum sample leaf is 1, so my tree will split further, so that jab tak we do not have 1 sample, it will keep on splitting. But if I'm saying consider minimum sample to be 6, so beyond, like below 6, it won't go. So what we have done, we have controlled the splitting of our decision tree. So this is what is done. We can reduce the number of splits that our decision tree will do, and it might also, if there are chances that our decision tree or our random forest will overfit. Random forest ideally does not overfit, but if you are using a decision tree, then there are chances that the decision tree might overfit, because growing it till full length and considering all the samples then might overfit. So these all are the parameters which we tweak in order to reduce overfitting. Okay. Now example given here that from 2 to 6 we it will be this way, that below that number my tree won't split further. Okay. Now another parameter we have is random state. Random state again similar to जो हमारा which we had in train test split, that is in train test split we divided our training data. So similarly again, because bootstrapping is done in this random forest, so random state will again define key from that particular index, it will pick the data and it will distribute among the decision trees or among various trees. So random state, it will always give the same result. If you specify a random state in your algorithm, then your algorithm might have ending in giving same results given same parameters with the training data. Okay. Then another, if at any point anybody is having confusion here, if you find that I'm going too fast, then please tell me. Okay, otherwise I'm going with the same speed. Abhi tak, are they clear what these variables are referring to, or what these parameters are referring to? Is anybody having any question? What about others? Only Johnny, Karishma, and Rupa have responded. What about others? Achal, Hargun, Rohit, Sanchit, good to go. Okay, none of them have replied. Okay, moving on. So then we have OOB score. So this is something like out of bag score. इसका होता है. Okay, Johnny. Yeah, that's why I have time. Okay, no problem. So OOB score is out of bag sample score. So what OOB is for, we can now moving back to our algorithm here. See, it's always whenever read the documentation part that what this is referring to is our OOB score. So it is used out of bag sample to estimate accuracy. Okay. So what it does is, let's say while bootstrapping, एक second, let me draw something here. So what out of bag will do is, see, if you and as you have seen here, out of bag, out of bag is bool. It's by default false. If we set it to true, what it will do is, let's say this was the data which was fed into our DT1. Okay. Similarly, we might have n number of these kind of data set which are fed into DT2 and DT3 and so on. So if you set out of bag score out to be true, what it will do is, it won't take all the, let's say these are the 5 parameters which were fed into decision trees. So what OB score will do is, it won't take, or it won't consider all these 5 parameters for training DT1. Out of these 5, it might consider these initial 4 parameters and train my decision tree onto these parameter 1 to 4, and just leave 5, the parameter 5th, for validation. That, and this is our target one. This will be always our target. Sorry, not target. Sorry. It is not our target. It can be like, it can be any of the random variable. Yes. So what OB will do is, it will train my decision tree 1 on these initial 4 samples, and it will leave 1 sample out for validation, or for testing that how well this decision tree perform. Similarly, let's say with DT2, what was my combination given here? Let's say 3, 7, 8, and we have 5 here as well. Okay. Again, decision trees, every decision tree will have a different kind of data. So with decision tree 1 se leke 4 was used for training, and 5th was taken as out of bag. Now with decision tree 2, 3 se leke 8 were used for training, and again 5 was left out as out of bag sample. So it's not, we have n number of decisions. So some decision trees might be having 5 as the left out data. Some decision trees might be having 7 as the left out data. Some decision trees might be having 1 as the left out data. So what it will do is, it will club all the decision trees having the same kind of left out data. This 5 was not used for training by this DT1. This 5 was not used by this for training by this DT2. Similarly, other decision trees might be also there which did not use this 5 as a training variable in order to train that decision tree. So it will combine all the decision trees together which did not use this variable 5. Similarly for other variable as well. So just talking about 5, it will combine all the decision trees. Now what it will do is, because this decision tree is already trained, this is already trained, and similarly other decision trees are also trained. So what it will do is, it will try to make prediction for this 5. Give basis on the training of this 1 to 4 and other algorithms which have used this 5 as a training parameter. So it will consider, like, it will make predictions for this 5 which was not used by an algorithm. Let's say for DT1 did not use 5, DT2 did not use 5. So it will use this model and make predictions for 5. And let's say if 5 was given out to be, let's say this is a variable of yes and no, and let's say we have 5 decision trees, and out of 5 or 4 decision trees, and out of 5, 3 decision trees says that 5 variable जो मेरा 5 column, and let's say this is any gender column. It was missed out by a number of decision trees, and predictions are made for this gender column which was skipped by OOB score. So क्या करेगा, like all the decision trees will be taken and they will make prediction for this gender column. So be it a male or female, and then let's say we have 4 decision trees who have skipped the column gender, who have not used gender for the training purpose. So they will make their prediction, and let's say out of those 4, 3 have said that this was a male. So what was the score here? What was the score? It came out to be 3. So OB score will do is, like, it will consider all. No, एक second. Let me erase all these drawings. So it will consider that result and give me, for each and every prediction, at time it can be gender, for another decision trees, it might be some other variable. So my variables might change from decision tree to decision tree because किसी का कुछ sample size है, किसी में कुछ bootstrap sample है, किसी में कुछ bootstrap sample है, right? So what it will do is it will, like, it just will leave one out. Like as I told you, it will leave one out, leave one variable from the given training data bootstrap sample, and it will, it will simply tag every observation used in different decision trees. Means it will make a cluster key. This is a cluster one where this gender column was skipped. This is a cluster of another decision trees where age column was skipped. This is another cluster of decision trees where salary column was skipped. And then it will use decision trees to make prediction for those, respective cluster. One it will make use for prediction for gender, for salary, like whichever columns were skipped, it will make predictions for them. And then, automatically another model is created within random forest, and then maximum vote, matlab har ek ka jo voting hoga, that is used, and then an OOB score is given. So it is a kind of, out of bag that some samples are left out and not used by training by individual decision trees. This is just to evaluate the performance of a model. So when do we use it? So we have a validation score. So general we go for training accuracy, testing accuracy. This is all within the random forest. So it can be used, let's say if you do not have such a big data, and if we have a big data, then we do not use OOB score. Our testing accuracy is good enough, or our validation accuracy is good enough to get the result. But what if we do not have big data enough, like we cannot do the train test split part. So we just feed in the complete data, and in order to visualize that how well our model is, we can consider that OOB score, because ideally what OOB does is it keeps some sample with itself and make predictions on them. So, and this is what we do with testing data, that we keep some data with ourselves as a test data, and we make predictions from that model on that test data. So OB may backend may, it is the same thing. So when the data is not much enough and you feed in your complete data, then you can consider OOB score as your model evaluation score and get to know that how good your model is. Otherwise, it's not, it's okay if you do not consider it, because we have our own testing accuracy and validation accuracy. Validation में क्या होता है? Validation set is different from testing set. Testing is जैसे होता है ना grid search CV, out of that complete data, one data is kept itself on a part. Let's say what was in CV here, cross validation, same thing. That if this is my data here, and out of these samples, these are my samples, my model will be trained on these sample, and this has come out to by my validation sample. Apart from test data, this all is my training data. This is my training data, and from training data, a validation set is created by this cross validation and random forest in itself. Key trained on certain parameters, and one set is left different and OOB score are different. Validation set हम खुद से define भी कर सकते हैं, that from this test we can create validation set from our data. कि one is training data, one is test data, and one is validation data. But OOB score is something it's taken randomly from bootstrap samples. So OOB score थोड़ा clear हुआ. What is OOB score?
Ma'am,
हाँ जी
ये
जॉन.
like I understood कि इसमें like every decision tree leaves out one variable and उसको club कर लेते हैं, and then it predicts that variable. उसमें like it predicts on the basis of score. That is what OOB score is. Or
नहीं,
like
predict on
it predicts
of training. जो train हुआ है her decision tree without using that variable, training was a model was trained. So basis on that training, predictions are made, and then let's say if out of 10 cluster or 10 decision tree, 8 are saying, let's say, male, then the score is 8. If because that is the target, so the score comes out to be 8. That majority was 8 for that for that particular variable.
okay, the number of voting that
Yes.
they're saying? I mean, like,
That comes out to be the score.
okay.
What about others? Are you having any doubt or question? What depends on training data, Rupa? It's all, yeah, the prediction for that left out sample is, as per the model is trained, the prediction for that sample is done by using the trained model. It does not depend on training data. Model is trained on whatsoever data. Using that model, we make the predictions. Hanji, what about others? And these all are the tweaking parameters. We tweak them, we just try to give different values and we see how well our model is performing. And machine learning is most of the time tweaking part. When you find an algorithm and you implement it, you just tweak with different values after understanding what the specific parameter is for. Okay, now another parameter. Okay, let's have a break of 5 minutes and then we'll be back and we'll complete this parameters. Okay. Is everybody there? First of all, shall we start? Okay. So OB score, I think clear hai. So हर एक में like the row which was skipped by a particular decision tree, so a cluster of those decision trees made and predictions are made. And let's say if out of 10 decision trees, 8 are saying that it is a male, then the again voting thing is done. Then male dominates, and then the results are seen that actual value was it a male or female, and if the predictions are correct, then a score is assigned. So it's written here that out of bag score is computed as the number of correctly predicted rows from that out of bag sample. So if a row is predicted correctly by those decision trees, we get a score, else we do not get a score. Okay. Then another attribute is max leaf node. So एक second, I don't know what's wrong with this figure now. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so what max leaf node will do is, let's say as the name says that the maximum number of leaf nodes you want. So ideally, so if talking about, so it is like if by this we specify a condition that I want my tree to stop splitting if the number of, like if these many number of nodes are there in my tree, then the tree should stop splitting. By this, we can reduce the overfitting and also we restrict the growth of tree. Just like we restricted by using the minimum samples of leaf, we can also specify the maximum number of leaf. If we say that I just want 2 leaf in my in my tree, then wherever it encounters a 2 leaves, that is, it just have 2 child leaves, then my tree will stop growing. It won't grow further, even if the samples are more, even if I'm not reached at my target. But since this condition is satisfied that the maximum terminal or the terminal nodes can be set also as leaf node. So if the maximum terminal nodes are 2, then stop the splitting. So this is just to reduce overfitting and also restrict the growth of your tree. If we move to this here, maximum leaf node here. So you see here, grows tree with maximum leaf node in best first self if refined reduction and purity if none unlimited number of leaf nodes are done. ठीक है, तो सभी पैरामीटर है, हर एक का अपना कुछ काम है. If we tweak them, then results might vary. अगर मैं सिर्फ बोलूँ कि मुझे just make my or stop like tree growing if my leaf nodes are like 5, so no, my tree won't grow much. So it is again to be taken into consideration, depends कि अपना tree देखो और again the tweaking parameter. Then the next is maximum depth. This is the parameter by which you can control the depth of your tree. And again, the longest, it's the longest fast path from your root node to your child node, that is the leaf node. Okay, the deeper the tree, that the more split it will have and the more information it will capture. And moreover, if the tree is fully grown with maximum number of leaves, with maximum number of splits, then and huge number of decision trees are there, then there are chances that my tree will overperform. Like my tree can perform good, but there are chances of overfitting as well. So we can control the depth as well, that as soon as 3 levels are achieved, then stop growing the tree. If you do not specify any depth, so what is the default one? We can see it by using the documentation part. So maximum depth here, what is the maximum depth? It is default none, means my tree will continue to grow till the pure split is achieved. Okay. So the growth of your tree can be controlled by the maximum split criteria. Now another one is class weights. So higher the value of maximum depth, it might lead to overfitting if you're allowing all the samples, if you're allowing a huge number of decision trees and number of estimators. But not always. Again, you just have to see what your results are and then find out that is your model overfitted or underfitted, and then you can tweak in these parameters. Then comes out to be class weights. So class is always referred to as our target variable, that is a dependent variable. So we can also assign the weights to them, that is if like my class is yes or no, then I just want to give high weightage to my class 1, that is yes, and low weightage to my class no. So you can assign the weights in form of dictionary. Let's say here we have assigned weight 1 to class 0 and weight of 2 to class 1. Ideally, there is a balanced approach that both classes are weighted equally, but you can also assign weights, but ideally it should not be done because both things should be taken into consideration equally. So अगर let's say if you have unbalanced data कि आपका class 2 की majority, class की 1 की majority है data में, and you have very few instances of class 0. So in that case, you can give higher weightage to class 0 because you have very few data points. So if an algorithm is getting very few data points, or if an algorithm is getting trained on very few data points, then there are chances that it might not perform good on that data, because let's say if talking about class 0, let's assume we have only 10 instances, and for class 1 we have 90 instances, then in that case there are high chances that my model won't perform on class 0 because it had very, very few instances. So in that case, you can give higher weightage, so that even if we have 10 instances, but giving higher weightage will, it will uplift them and it will give more weightage, and they will be taken into consideration. So it might improve the performance. Otherwise, if you do not have much of variation into your target data, then you can consider as a balanced approach. By default, वो balance ही होता है, ठीक है? Or else you can give weights. Then another concept of you'll hear this word very common, pruning. So pruning means we are cutting down our tree. So how do we cut down our tree? Is like this is done for like tree where you want that tree should stop growing. And how do we do it? Again, it's all on the basis of information gain and entropy or Gini index. So we can set a threshold that if below this threshold my tree should not grow, or if my tree has grown, then if any leaf node is there and if the leaf node is below that threshold, then remove all those nodes. So that is, when the tree is fully grown and then you are pruning it, that is you're setting a threshold, and whichever node is having below that threshold, then prune it, or you define it prior that I don't want any tree or any node to have a threshold below this value. So this is the concept of pruning, that you limit the tree growth. So we like information is calculated, information gain is calculated for every node before splitting, and if it is smaller than a threshold, then prune that node, that is, do not grow that node and consider it as a leaf node. So this procedure we can limit the growth of a decision tree. Okay. Now this was pruning. Now we have another concept, like this is a जो most commonly, CCP is not widely used, but it is also based on जो most widely used थे वो I've told you them. Then CCP is your post complexity pruning. So in this also use by default ये none होता है. Let's move to the documentation here. So if talking about where is our CCP, so every by default it is 0. So if you define a float value, it means you are setting a threshold that if that CCP value, अगर उसकी जो entropy है उससे value ज़्यादा होती है, it is again similar kind of pruning के लिए use होता है. जो बोला ना pruning में threshold कैसे देंगे, that is given using the CCP. So if you give a threshold and say that I do not want my tree to grow if the information gain or Gini value is below or above this level, then it should be prune or it should be considered as a leaf node. So that can be done using given this value of cost complexity pruning. Another हमारा एक parameter होता है n jobs. So what is that is by specifying this, you can control the processor used by the algorithm. Like if you say it as -1, let's move to documentation. उसमें अच्छे से और बताया हुआ है. So yeah. So number of jobs to run in parallel. ठीक है. So you are using all. If it is set to -1, it means you are using all of your processors. So it's all referring to the utilization of your CPU. So if you want like all of the processors to be used, then you can set it as -1. Otherwise by default ये none होता है. जो by default memory allocated है वो वही उससे ही चलेगा. Verbose again, जैसे हमने grid search CV में था, it is controlling the messages. If you give a verbose here, then value for verbose, then you get to see the like what is going on in the algorithm, just like we did in grid search CV. We were able to see that at what stage, what is the number of estimators used, what was the prediction accuracy, what was the score. So that all can be controlled using verbose parameter. So these were the like most of the like जो maximum मैंने cover किए हैं most commonly used parameters. But always whenever going for an algorithm, try to read the parameters if you want to tweak them. उनको पढ़ो, try to understand them, and then tweak the parameters. So is anybody having any confusion in those parameters which I've explained? Okay. Now a random forest in earlier वो वही वाला process है. I've imported my random forest classifier. I'm using it with grid search CV, and then I'll be using it without grid search CV. So here CLF referring to my random forest classifier, and what I've done here is I'm using grid search CV, and I want to fit in like because while using an algorithm, we can just fit in one value. I can give only one value for an estimator, be it 50, be it 100, be it 150, or be it any value. I cannot give multiple values. So when you want to try for a combination, let's say you have an idea that between these values, your algorithm might perform good, and between, let's say, other parameters which we studied now. So you want to try a combination of all. So you can use grid search CV in that case. Already मैंने जैसे define करते हैं, I've already explained it to you. So we define the parameters using in the form of a dictionary, and then CLF is referring to my this random forest. Grid search CV was imported here at the early stage here from sklearn.model selection, जहाँ से हम train split करते हैं, उसी में से grid search CV हम import करते हैं. ठीक है. Now fed in that these parameters, this is my algorithm which I'll be using, and these are my parameters. That is param grid. I'll be using this one. You can give n number of but again the more parameters you feed in your grid search CV, the more time consuming it will be, because वो हर combination पे चलाएगा, permutation combination. इस variable के साथ जितने भी let's say you're giving 2 more or 3 more parameters, then it will run each and every combination, thus will be time consuming. So you have to be careful that the parameters you given are in within a range, so that your system is just does not go into, like, it does not khatam hi nahi ho rahi processing. So be careful while giving the parameters. Okay, CV is cross validation. Again, we have covered this one, and then I want to fit my grid search CV onto my train and test part, the same procedure dot fit. And then once we have fitted our grid search CV, then you can see the best score that as per the given n estimators. We just only took n estimator. You can take another parameters as well. Then as per these, what was the best score given by this grid search CV using random forest? So the best score given was 77.25. If you multiply by 100, it will come out to be same. And what was the best parameters? So ideal जो by default होता है 100, picked up that only. So using 100 decision trees, it could find out the best accuracy. Okay. Now, if you want to see the probability, see, whenever there is a classification problem, there is always a probability in the backend. So if you just want to see that if what was the probability, let's say this okay, if dot predict proba is the command when you want to see the probability, हम क्या predict करते हैं? X test पे ही तो हम prediction करेंगे ना, तो X test की मुझे probability देखनी पड़ेगी. Try to understand why I've written X test here. Because when we fit X test to, let's say if I'm saying here rf underscore gs dot predict and then X test, then from this only I'll be getting result for good and bad, correct? So उसी के लिए I want to know the probability, that what was the probability for good and what was the probability for bad. कि अगर इस मेरा पहले इंस्टांस में good बोला है या bad बोला है, then what was the probability score? So that probability score can be found out by using this dot predict proba. ठीक है? Now it will give me this output, but how do I understand what this 0.95 is referring to, what this 0.05 is referring to? So this can be done using this dot class underscore. So the very first occurrence here is bad. So the very first value is, very first probability score is for this bad class. The second value in my list is good. So the second probability score is for good. Now, as per the probability, the first prediction was a bad candidate. Second also a bad candidate. Third was a good candidate. You see, because the third score that was for good was 0.96. Similarly, जो इसमें which is lying major here, winning, good. In this, which is higher 69, so again good classification. There is no much difference here, but still again 55.55 is greater. So good is classified. Here also good is classified, and here you see good is classified with probability of 1. So by this you can see, and you can also define your own threshold, as I've already said you. So here hamara cutoff, you can define your cutoff that if the probability is above 90, तो ही मेरा good बोलो, otherwise बोलो मत. Correct? So what in that case my value will change. Okay, now let's say this is, I'm saying this is bad here. And this is, okay, I'm doing bad by 0. This is 1. This is 1. This is 1. 1. 1, 1, 1, and it can be any. See, we have probability of 5, 5, so it could be any. दोनों के same probability, could be 1 or 0. And 0. Now let's say I want to make my own result. I want to customize them. So I can set my own probability. So that's all a Python command, that we set a threshold. You set it to a data frame, or you store the result and set a threshold that if the probability score for this column, for this right column, which was good, if the probability score is more than 80 or more than 90, then only set it as 1, otherwise no. So as per the threshold which we have defined, so it will still be a 0. This still a 0. But into this, if I'm talking about above 90, then it is a 1. But you see, this failed out because हमने जो threshold दिया that I want everything should have a probability of more than 0.9. It came out to be 0. This came out to be 0. Similarly, this came out to be 0. This is also 0. You see how our predictions have changed. This is probability 1, so it will remain 1. This will remain 1. This is 0. This again can be any value, 0. But if we are setting a probability of 0.9, so automatically it will go to 0. This is 0. And again, this is 0. You see how defining our own probability, we have made our predictions much more accurate. Initially, these many instances were where we had 1. These were all 1. But when we customize our own probability, we just had only 3 instances where we are 100% confident that this is an instance of 1. So by this, what we have increased? Recall, precision, accuracy, what we have increased here? Anybody, what we have increased here? Do we have increased recall, precision, accuracy? What we have increased? So like by this approach, we generally increase the recall value so that कि जो class good थी, जो थी उसको actual में good बताया, जो bad था उसको actual में bad बताया. So your model can be improved. Your model results are improved by this way. So concept समझ में आया? Like what if I'm changing the probability score, then how results can vary. Any confusion till now in grid search CV या जो भी हमने अभी ऊपर commands line लिखी थी? Any confusion in any of them? Best score, best parameters, classes या probability या grid search में कहीं पे कोई confusion है अभी तक? हाँ जी, what about others? Only Karishma is clear, Rupa is clear, Rohit is clear, बाकी सब confusion है या question है? Okay. So this was predict probability. Now what I've done, I made predictions here onto that X test and stored them in under this spread underscore RFC, and then using classification matrix, I'm able to see my precision, recall and F1 score. And I hope ये आपको पता हो, and नहीं है तो please इनको पढ़ लेना. They are very important when you come to an interview. ये बहुत पूछे जाते हैं, what is recall, what is precision, what is F1 score, and we see we got these values. So 136 is the number of instances where we had bad class, like total, जो exact values थे. And 184 were the instances where we had good occurrence in our test data, X test. ठीक है, and overall accuracy is 0.79. And when we use it without grid CV, तो simple है, we just import the algorithm by using CLF, and then we are fitting our training and testing data onto it and making predictions and doing. And again, you can just give different values for a parameter that is comes under parameter tweaking. Abhi we are using by default parameters here. You see, this is blank. I'm not using any parameter. You can use those parameters and you can set their values, and you'll see how results will vary. Okay. So by using default parameters, our accuracy came out to be 78, which is not good. So in order to get a good result or good accuracies, we need parameters, and उनकी हमें values hit and trial method से we have to find out that with which combination we are getting good result, or using grid search CV, but that is a time consuming approach. But once you are clear कि अच्छा इस range में I'm getting good values, then in that case after that you can use grid search CV. Once you are sure, because without any range आप values 100 भी दोगे estimator की 1000 भी दोगे, you don't know the range. So initially you have to do the hit and trial method. So once you get to know कि अच्छा इस range में I'm getting good result, then you can use grid search CV so that you get more close to the best parameter. ठीक है? So this was all random forest, how random forests work, how decision trees in random forests work, how data is divided, how results are calculated, and what all parameters random forests use. So is anybody having any confusion in random forest? We are done with random forest. Okay. So आज के लिए we'll be just doing random forest. Tomorrow, with the code which I've already shared with you, that is clustering algorithm unsupervised, we'll be doing that tomorrow. ठीक है? That is because that is unsupervised, so it is done in a different way. It is not similar to this supervised algorithm. उसकी functioning अलग है, उसका code करने का तरीका अलग है. Plus, I've sent you a spider file for that. I've not sent you a Jupyter. I've sent you a spider code, so we'll be working with that in spider tomorrow because दोनों चीजें जरूरी, you should know spider as well. ठीक है? So do the practice. If any questions, तो बताना. We'll try to solve it out. Otherwise, we'll start with clustering. ठीक है? So thank you everybody. Thank you so much. So Alok sir,
Yes, Sujata. Here.
we are done with today's session.